And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to a degree. I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
He says things, he doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. You know what I'm saying? Like, he says something fabulous and he goes, yo, but me and you, we ain't party. Like, we need to party. What is he talking about? I get uncomfortable. Like, he said something to me one time, a long time ago. At Chris Lighty's wedding, he told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler.
And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So, and we gonna go full crazy.
Yo, Josh said, you ain't want to go in that room because there's a lot of freaking going on.
They're both bisexual. They do weird things in their house. And young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship.
Puff and Ja Rule runs out the room. Puff got his towel, Ja grabbing his towel, but they butt the naked.
Meek Mills, Bashir Gray, left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick.
People from all walks of life. Ron Perlman talking to Jay-Z. Jay-Z talking to, you know what I'm saying?
When you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were gonna beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. But we ain't gonna stop. We gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. You gonna hear about my parties. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we wanna have a good time.
50 Cent has been making waves, and when he speaks, people listen. For years he's been throwing shade at Diddy, but lately, he's dropping straight-up bombshells. And it's not just Diddy in the crosshairs anymore. Usher and Justin Bieber have been pulled into the mix, making everyone take a much closer look at what's really been happening behind the scenes. Usher once described living with Diddy as a teenager, as stepping into a whole different world, one no young person should ever be exposed to. And Bieber? He somehow found himself caught up in the same whirlwind. 50 Cent has been hinting for years that these mentorships weren't about career guidance. Not even close. He plays it off in interviews, laughs like it's just entertainment, but you can tell, underneath it all he's holding on to some serious receipts. It's like he's been waiting for the perfect moment to call out the mess for what it really is. So why does 50 Cent steer clear of Diddy's infamous parties? Simple. He's seen and heard enough. And when someone like 50 refuses to show up, you know it's not just a case of industry politics. When asked about it in an interview, he smirked and said, "Diddy's parties, too freaky for me. I'm good." Now, really think about that. This is 50 Cent, the same guy who thrives on controversy, who's built a career on pushing the limits. And even he drew the line at whatever was going down behind Diddy's closed doors. If 50 is saying it's too much, you already know it's on a different level. But what exactly was happening at these parties? 50 didn't spill all the tea, but he made it abundantly clear that something was off. "I'm a regular guy," he said. "I like things simple. That stuff they were on? Nah, man. I can't get with it." And then he doubled down. According to him, some industry folks get into activities so bizarre you wouldn't believe it if he told you. And you know what? They don't talk about it, because they're in too deep. Then there's Jaguar Wright, a no-holds-barred industry insider who has never been afraid to speak her mind. She dropped a bombshell claiming that some guests at Diddy's mansion didn't just leave, they ran out, screaming.
They're both bisexual. They do weird things in their house. And young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship.
Wait. What? Grown adults, running. Screaming. If 50 Cent's refusal to attend wasn't enough of a red flag, this takes things to a whole other level. Jaguar described how people would walk in thinking they were about to experience luxury, celebrity status, and the high life. but some left the house fully traumatized. Jaguar went even further, claiming these parties weren't just about fun and networking, they were about control, power, pushing limits, testing boundaries. The way she described it? Less like a party, more like a psychological nightmare. It's not just a party, she said, it's a place where people's limits are tested. Where things happen that shouldn't happen. Some people dismissed her claims, but others? They've been hanging on to every word, convinced she's revealing an industry secret that too many people are scared to talk about. And then, there's Usher. A young, talented, impressionable teenager who was sent to live with Diddy under the guise of learning the ropes of the music industry. On paper, it sounds like a dream opportunity, but when Usher spoke about it years later, he dropped a cryptic bombshell. I saw things I shouldn't have seen.
And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand.
That's all it took, one sentence to send the internet into a frenzy. What did he see? What was he exposed to? Even Diddy himself admitted, I taught Usher a lot, maybe too much. And when you consider that Usher was just 14 at the time, while Diddy was already a major industry player with a party-heavy lifestyle, it paints a concerning picture. Usher later admitted that while the experience helped him grow, it also forced him to mature too fast. And then, years later, Usher found himself in the role of mentor. And guess who he introduced to Diddy? None other than Justin Bieber. A 13-year-old Bieber was starstruck when he met Diddy, and before long he was spending time in his world. One infamous clip memed into oblivion over the years shows a very young Bieber sitting on Diddy's lap as Diddy jokes about teaching him the ropes.
And we gonna go full crazy.
At the time it seemed innocent enough, but now? With all the information coming out about Diddy, people are starting to look at that video in a completely different light. Usher experienced it, then Usher introduced Bieber to it. Was it mentorship? Or was history just repeating itself? Bieber has spoken out multiple times over the years about feeling overwhelmed by the industry, and losing himself in the fame. He's never outright blamed anyone, but when you start connecting the dots, the picture becomes unsettling. And then, just recently, right as new allegations against Diddy began to surface, Bieber suddenly unfollowed Usher on Instagram. Coincidence? Maybe. But the timing? Highly suspect. Diddy's reputation in the music industry is legendary, but not necessarily in a good way. Insiders have whispered for years that no one made it big unless Diddy gave the nod. If Diddy didn't like you, good luck making it. Sounds dramatic, but let's not forget, this is the same man who built Bad Boy Records into a cultural empire, working with everyone from Biggie to J-Lo. Jaguar Wright's claims make things even more disturbing. She insists that some celebrities literally left Diddy's house screaming because of what went down inside. And the most chilling part? Diddy wasn't even trying to hide it. He did whatever he wanted, one source said. He was untouchable. But nothing lasts forever. The age of social media and accountability has started to peel back the layers of secrecy surrounding Diddy. Former collaborators are speaking up and old stories are resurfacing. People are questioning how much of his success was truly built on talent versus sheer control over the industry. And then there's 50 Cent. Watching. Talking. Laughing. Always a step ahead. When the allegations and legal troubles started piling up, 50 was the first to jump on social media with a meme that had the internet buzzing. Man, Diddy out here doing the most, and they finally caught up with him. Karma is undefeated. That's classic 50 Cent, never one to let a rival off the hook. But this time it's bigger than rap beef. He's been dropping hints for years. Laughing, but also warning. I'm not saying anything people don't already know, I'm just saying it louder. So what's the real story? Is 50 Cent exposing something massive, or is he just stirring the pot? One thing's certain, Diddy's world is unraveling. And the truth? It's only just starting to come out.